I'm Mpilo, and today I'll be reacting to a crazy situation I just heard about. Well, it's not as crazy as I think it is. It is actually very entertaining things that are happening in South Africa. So we know that the G20 is coming up, right? There was a lot of commotion about certain countries not being too sure about coming to South Africa. There were certain positions with regards to South Africa's foreign policy stance they were not happy with. There were certain situations that were happening in South Africa, certain countries were not grateful of, and so forth. You know, there were ups and downs, there were allegations made here and there. There were posters being posted at the White House. A lot of things have happened between the USA as well as South Africa. Now, I have great news. I have fantastic news. There has been a letter which was leaked showing that certain delegations will be on their ways to South Africa for this G20 summit. Besides the USA, other countries did not really seem to have a problem coming to South Africa. Whether or not these countries have a good relationship with South Africa is a completely different case. It is a completely different case, right? Now, I'm not here to talk about what the discussions will be at the G20, although they do have some really nice topics to discuss, such as sustainability, equity, and solidarity. The entire world needs solidarity right now. The entire world needs sustainability right now. The entire world needs equity right now. Okay, they will be discussing topics as climate change, how to go on about relieving debt for debt-ridden countries, ways to ensure that the next pandemic or the next economic or the next global phenomenon that could spike a world war becomes managed in a way that the most poor regions in the country do not suffer the most. Those are the topics that will be discussed there. I hope the European Union as well as the Union gets a chance to freely express themselves due to the amount of tensions that have been happening in these two regions. We know about the Ukraine-Russia situation happening there in Europe. We know about Sudan happening in Africa. We know about the fact that Congo has recently managed to broker peace deals amongst the rebel group as well as the official army of the Democratic Republic of Congo. They are having peace, or at least for a little while. But hey, in these kind of situations, you never. It could be something that is temporary arrangement, but nonetheless, there is peace in the Congo. So I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy about the fact that the continent is benefiting richly from all the opportunities that are presenting themselves, be it the BRICS summit that took place a couple of years ago, be it the G20 summit that is currently taking place. I really hope that South Africa changes because of these meetings that are taking place. We do know that next year we will have the SADC summit that will take place here in South Africa. So things are looking pretty good. Things are looking pretty good. But let me not delve too much into other issues. Let me go deep into the juicy parts, right? Now, for those of you who major, or I used to be a business major at the University of Johannesburg. Now, we know that international phenomena play a huge role in domestic markets, right? What am I saying about this? I am saying the sort of relationship your country has with countries outside your borders affects the way you do business as a business person here in South Africa. Why is it so important to have these summits taking place here in South Africa? First of all, it 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 produces an opportunity for business peoples to market the goods and services that they are rendering. Secondly, it opens doors for the tourism sector. People are traveling from all across the world, they need a place to sleep. People are traveling from all across the world, they need massages. People are traveling from across the world, they need good food, they need entertainment. Who is providing all of that? The tourism sector, the entertainment industry, forth. So this ends up giving you a huge benefit as a local business person. The transport sector benefits a lot. We do know that South Africa is somewhat not the safest country in the world. So even the security cluster gets a boost, or should I say private security companies get a boost, because we do know that the government alone or South African police force alone is not good enough to protect all these global leaders, or at least surveil them 24/7. We do need extra peoples to help out here and there. And where do we get those expertise from? The private sector. So I'm expecting to see a lot of guys that are trained in order to do bodyguard work and all those things in the private sector to play a huge role in escorting our presidents from all across the world. I'm also expecting a lot of business peoples to show up there. There was a business summit not so long ago that took place, and yeah, I can say I am pleased by the way the entire meeting was handled. I'm pleased by the Youth 20 was handled. I'm pleased by the way the summits were handled. Now it's time for the main summit. Can President Ramaphosa make an impact globally? Do I believe he's the right guy to push forward an agenda that serves South Africans? Do I believe that he has it in him to turn around all the misfortunes the ANC has been having just by one summit? Even for him, that's too much of a stretch. I don't believe that this is the moment where we need to be optimistic and say, see, could save the day. I don't think this is an opportunity to say President Ramaphosa will all of a sudden be this great hero that saved South Africa from crying times. I'm not at all saying that. All I'm saying is the impact of what will happen tomorrow or the day after will be felt by people's 10 years to come. You remember the World Cup that took place a couple of years ago. Its effects are felt now. Now that South Africa has qualified for a FIFA World Cup once again. They have qualified for an AFCON once again. The previous year, they went to the semi-finals of the AFCON. It is all thanks to the legacy projects that were initiated as a result of hosting the 2020, not the 2020, the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Rugby. Rugby is doing a great job. It is all thanks to us having hosted a Rugby World Cup once upon a time. Cricket is doing very well thanks to us having hosted a Cricket World Cup and so forth. This is an opportunity to strengthen the relationship South Africa has with countries outside. South Africa has with unilateral bodies. South Africa has with the African continent to some extent. Because some of the issues that will be discussed there have a lot to do with what is happening in the African continent, right? The president wants to talk about debt relief. South Africa, as it stands, is concerned about debt relief because certain members of the African Union are overburdened by debt. Yes, this might include South Africa to some extent, but let the truth be said. Let the truth be said. South Africa is not the only country suffering from this. So, if South Africa is successful in making certain proposals in order to allow certain ways to at least reduce the amount of debt repayments for not only South Africa but the African continent at large, this could make a major shift in the way that South Africans do business, in the way that Africans do business, but more especially the way that our governments manage debt overall. We have institutions that will be there which govern the lending and controlling of monies from state departments to multinational organizations and so forth. These are organizations such as World Bank, IMF, and so forth, right? This is a good opportunity for us as South Africa, since South Africa has just been escaped from what we call it junk status economic. We are now on the next level, which is still not good enough, but we've been stuck. Understand, guys, we as South Africans have been stuck in junk status ever since I was 12 years old. Do you know how long ago that was? In case you didn't know, I'm 23 years old today. So you can calculate how long ago that was. It was more than 10 years ago. 11 years, 12 years plus minus. That is how long South Africa has been stuck in junk status. For the first long time, South Africa has been put in a position to make powerful decisions, has been put in a position to change their economic woes, so to say, and turn them into economic victories. For the first time, South Africa, which has been seen as the most dangerous, Johannesburg, which has been seen as the most dirty, you name it, every horrible thing you can think of about a city, Johannesburg has been named amongst, the worst sport. Johannesburg has a chance to change all of that. Johannesburg has a chance for the first time in a very long time to get their act together and clean up the place. They have been trying to do so since last year, November, when they inherited that G20 presidency. Could it have been easier to move to a city that functions really? Yes, like Cape Town. Yes, it could have been easier, but the fact that it takes place in a Johannesburg that has been having so many problems, even politically, Johannesburg has not been the most stable city in, if not Africa, then the entire world. There has been lots of changes of mayors, there have been lots of problems, service delivery strikes, workers have been paid, service providers have been striking for not being paid, and so there's been lots of problems in the administration of the city of Johannesburg. But this is a chance to fix all of that. We need to get our act together because we have guests coming. That has been the message that has been sent from November last year till this year. And man, have they made moves. It might not be to everyone's satisfaction, but at least they made moves. Some South Africans are angry because they feel as though the government does not take us seriously. They are only doing this because we have guests arriving. They are only doing this to keep a good face towards the rest of the world. But who cares? For such a long time, I've never been able to see this beauty of Johannesburg my parents have always been telling me about. I've never had a chance to see this amazing place that people have been communicating to me about, telling me all these wonderful things. All I saw was a dirty city that does not work, that has corrupt politicians who are ruining the experience for people who are working hard each and every single day. That is the first thought that comes to mind when I think of a Johannesburg. But man, have I seen an improvement in the last 11 months. There's been a drastic change. Even on the ground, the mood of peoples has been changing drastically. And this is a step in the right direction. I don't know whether I'm overreacting certain points or whether I have completely misdiagnosed this entire situation. But please comment below. I would like to hear what your thoughts are. Thank you very much. This is Mpilo Mpanza signing out. Hi, this is Mpilo. If you like this video, please click on the subscribe button below. Click the notification bell so that you can be informed whenever I release the video. Don't forget to share and like, comment below. Your engagement can help me grow this channel faster than I ever thought. Thanks for watching. Bye.